welcome to another episode of the Nothing and Everything podcast, where today we talk a lot of nothing.
And a little bit about everything.
And man, it's going to be a great show today.
I'm your host. I'm your co-host.
Oh, we are co-hosts. I'm Gerald.
Kyle.
Good to see you guys.
Great to have you guys.
Or good for y'all to see us.
Man, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back. You know, well, I didn't know you were going to start off that quick with it.
Okay, I'll let you ease into it.
No, let's talk about being back.
Okay.
Let's go full disclosure. We,
Ooh.
yeah.
Feel like we need to come clean, people.
We got to come clean.
Sorry about that.
Got to come clean. So the episode, last week's episode, was actually filmed like 3 weeks ago. So if you notice from last week, I asked Kyle about his mission trip to Ecuador.
Yep.
And he gave nothing.
I gave a very generic.
Very little.
It was great.
We traveled. We were on an airplane. Like, great. Those are the kinds of things we want to hear about.
But we had a good reason to record early.
Well,
we are committed to the listenership. To our,
some would
dare I say,
what?
Fans.
Fans. We are contractually bound.
That's right. They're like, you have to have this podcast done.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Our producers are killing us.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So anyway, you were out of town. I was out of town.
But we said Wednesday people are waiting. People wake up and just refreshing their podcast app and boom, we want to be right there.
Right. So
you're welcome, people.
Yeah. So I guess now we can talk a little bit about what we did actually.
What we actually did.
So how was Ecuador?
I was really good. I mean, honestly, I don't know that it could have gone any better.
Yeah.
This was a small group. We did some teaching for a group of pastors that were like indigenous local pastors, maybe 40 or 50 of them. And this is like pretty much the majority. I mean, this is the Bible education, the seminary education that they'll get. And so we just did 2 days of that. Kind of the big thing for me was I took my 9-year-old daughter, who's been in the Spanish immersion program. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit of a gamble, I guess. I just kind of wasn't sure.
All right.
And I was blown away.
Yeah.
You and I don't think have talked about this since then. Like I was impressed. I was proud. I was just like, I don't even know who this kid is. Like, the first couple of times it was kind of like, yeah, she's a little maybe like just like hesitant, but then she realized pretty quickly, hey, my old man is the one who doesn't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And she started talking to people in the market. And she's not like a social butterfly anyways. Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of nervous about like not the language part, but just talking to people. Right. Talking to a room of 50 grown men is just kind of a weird thing for a 9-year-old. But she just kind of cut loose and seriously, I was like, I don't know what is going on. So whatever they were doing in the Spanish immersion program is working.
There were a couple videos that were put out on social media.
Yeah. And
just hearing her talk, she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So our school, Hickory Grove Christian School, has a Spanish immersion. Immersion or immersion?
It's whichever one. You go immersion, I'll go immersion.
They have a Spanish program, and it's top notch. So, I mean, if you're wondering, like, oh, is this worth it, or is it real, or does it really work? I mean, it's living proof right here.
Yeah, so this would be, she's been in it for 4 years, and, like, I see bits and pieces, I help her do a little bit of homework, and it's mainly through, like, Google Translate or something.
Sure.
And, but to just kind of say, hey, I'm having a conversation with somebody, and you are the interpreter, which, makes you a little bit nervous.
And she's 9.
That's incredible. And she had a lot of poise, and, like, I think she kind of gained confidence. Mm-hmm. There were a couple times where she was like, I don't really know what that is, or, like a big word or something. Right. She would, but I was like, I almost maybe got a little misty-eyed at one time. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening.
Hey, man.
It was cool. Like,
there's no shame in that.
Well, I was just, it's kind of like an outer-body experience. I was like, what is going on right now? Who is this kid?
That's pretty cool. I took Spanish in high school. Mm-hmm. And that's that.
Was your name Geraldo?
My name was Emilio.
Oh. Mine was... what was my? I almost said Amarillo, but that's yellow. Armando. That was my Spanish name.
Armando.
And
that's pretty good.
Emilio.
But mine.
We should do an all Spanish like version of the podcast next time.
Mine would be. I mean, I would be terrible.
Emilio and Armando.
The reason why I picked Emilio was because of Emilio Estevez.
I picked Armando because he was some football player in college, and I was like, I like that name.
There you go. Well,
so it was good. I'm glad to be back. Everything went great. I mean, I think she's ready to go again.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't know when we
That's
will,
cool.
but it'll be good.
That's cool.
And you didn't have the typical spring break. No Panama City, no Myrtle Beach for you.
No Panama City or Myrtle Beach. I actually went down to a little town in Georgia called Milledgeville.
Ooh.
And led
What's
worship.
that near?
Milledgeville is near Sparta.
Ooh.
Sparta.
What's that
Not
near?
That Sparta. It's near Sandersville. It's near Kamek.
Still not getting anywhere.
Yeah, right. So it's.
I know Macon, Savannah, and Atlanta.
Well,
and
put it this way:
Columbus.
I drove through Augusta. I drove through Augusta on Sunday.
Yeah.
Of the, what's that golf thing?
Oh, that golf thing? The Masters?
The Masters.
The golf thing?
The golf thing. I'm not a huge golf fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I drove through there. Traffic was terrible. I drove through there to get to Milledgeville. But it's several churches in the area. They got together and they did this revival. And so, like, none of the churches there were probably, like, big enough to really comfortably seat everybody. So there's a gentleman that lives down there, and he's got this huge, like, dairy farm and Black Angus farm, whatever.
Nice.
And so he's got this massive barn that could probably seat 1,000 people.
A barn?
Barn.
Ooh.
When I mean barn, I mean, like...
So, like, you having to, like, shovel stuff out? You having to muck the stalls before the service begins?
No, there's no stalls. He's kind of converted it to be like an event, like a venue kind of deal. So, but like the stage that I stood on was a pontoon boat with everything taken off.
Pontoon boat.
Yeah. And because I was looking up underneath it one day, and I was like, "What is that up underneath there?" And it was just the pontoons are still there.
That's hilarious.
And so it's just a platform. And, I mean, it was huge, but it was a great time. Actually, it's funny because every now and then whenever the preacher that was preaching, he would say something, whatever, and then you literally hear these donkeys or cows or whatever out in the yard, and they're just going to town. And so it's just funny. It's just funny. And so, so I led worship at a barn revival. I call it South Georgia. Anything south of Atlanta to me is South Georgia. Yeah. So, but I was
as we say, the dirty. What you know about the dirty?
Okay, that's more Alabama, where you're from.
Yeah, but Alabama, Georgia, that's the dirty South.
But it's different.
It is different.
It is different. So anyway, so I got to go see my mom while I was down there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
How's mom doing?
So mom's doing well. So now it's funny. It's funny you're talking about speaking in Spanish because like my brother calls, my brother calls me and I put it on speakerphone, and so me and my mom are sitting there and we're talking to my brother on the phone. And then about halfway through the conversation, he just starts speaking in Korean to my mom. So I'm sitting on the phone
now, where are you in all this? Like, I mean, do you...
No, I only know the bad words.
Do you get it?
Like the stuff
I only know the Korean bad words.
I mean, the stuff that she used to yell at me when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Those are the only things that stuck in my head. I mean, I know some food or whatever, and so, like, they're just talking in Korean, and I'm just sitting there looking at them like, hey, you guys want to, like, call each other and I'll just hang out? Like, what are y'all doing?
So how did he get the Korean skills and you didn't?
Well, he moved to Korea and lived in Korea for a while. Okay. So, so he lived out there.
Gypped.
Yeah, I've never... Actually, I lived in Korea for a while when I was...
Did you really?
Yeah, like soon after I was born until I was like 4 or 5.
I've been to the airport.
In Korea?
Seoul.
Oh.
I changed planes there one time.
That's where I lived, in Seoul.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, it was
We might have known each other back then.
Probably not.
I doubt it.
You're significantly older than me. So you know something that's funny about traveling, about driving around or flying around or whatever, you always, especially when you go like south of here, you always kind of see these places on the side of the road.
Yep.
And I've been called a germaphobe before in the past. Okay, I'm not really. No one likes germs, right?
That's true.
Is that fair to say?
That's true.
No one likes germs, so technically we're
I think
all
you
germaphobes.
take it. I think you take your precautions to another level.
I don't. Anyway, so and typically if there's like a food health score lower than a certain number, like I won't.
What's that number? 95, 97.
No,
you need it higher than that.
Well, there's some things you just got to know. I've done some research, and
it could have been an off day. I worked in restaurants before. You could have just got caught.
Anyway, but when I'm traveling, I'll stop and eat
Oh yeah.
just about anything.
There's no health score on that.
There's like a
wooden
guy
shack.
with like a umbrella on the side of the road with a big old 55-gallon barrel.
You're like, let's stop.
boiling
Let's
some
stop,
peanuts.
kids. Boiling some.
I don't even know
Do
this
you
guy.
like boiled peanuts?
I will reach in that barrel and scoop out a
Really?
thing of boiled peanuts and eat them the rest of the way.
I don't really like them that much. I mean,
Boiled
I've had them
peanuts?
before. Yeah, I mean, I've had them. Honestly, I think the only time I've ever had them is in Georgia or South Carolina because you can get them on the side of the road.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Like going into a Braves game or something. I remember getting them there.
I love it, man.
Do you really?
Braves
Man.
game, and you had to get them a long ways outside of Atlanta.
They were selling them close to the stadium. I mean, it's a few years ago,
But
but
that's like high dollar kind.
Yeah,
I'm talking
that's
about
like
the guy where, you know, like he has no teeth. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So you know the
And
peanuts are going to be good.
The peanuts are gonna be good.
So did you stop this time?
I wanted to stop. I was kind of in a hurry going down, and so I didn't really have
Yeah.
a lot of time. But I was thinking, man, all these places, I want to stop at all of them. There's one place that our producer, Austin, and we stopped at a place coming back. We were out there someplace doing something I can't remember, but we were driving back, and we ate at we ate some peach ice cream.
Yes.
On 74.
Yes.
I think it's like PD
Yeah,
something.
I've been there. Because I
That-
go to the like when we go to the beach. We'll stop and get
On 74.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know. I've never gotten the boiled peanuts, but I have definitely gotten the peach ice cream. And like you said, we'll just be like, this is a stand on the side of the road. The produce has to be better. May not be cheaper,
Yep.
but we're gonna stop and get it. And
Yep.
yeah, we'll usually do that. Get something on the beach on the way back.
I like that kind of
That
stuff.
peach ice cream. So in Ecuador, this was a weird thing. We had this like 4-hour drive. You're talking about the little roadside stands. I don't know what it was, but they had like basically like roadside ice cream stands every 100 yards. I mean, it got to be like how
Whoa.
yeah, I don't know.
Now,
It had these people out there like, holding up the little popsicle signs, and it was like it happened very quickly. Like it was not like, oh, we'll see one in 20 minutes from now. It was like every 3 minutes. There was an ice cream stand.
I don't know if I can do that in like another country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to.
We didn't stop,
Whatever.
but I mean, I would have.
This
is ice cream. It's packaged up. It's not like it's
I went to
they
Mexico.
go hand it to you in your hand. Here you go.
I went to Mexico on a mission trip when I was in college, and they were selling lukewarm milk out of a Ziploc bag with like a little straw in it.
We
So
saw
I
a
was
lot
like,
of bagged milk down
oh
there
man,
too.
let's get some of that. It looks good.
Let's get some of that.
So I tried it, and
Let's get some E. coli in a bag.
yeah. So Montezuma's Revenge is
Ooh.
legit. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. So that ended it for me. So I haven't had bagged milk off the side of the road in another country in quite some
In a
time.
while.
Quite some
Probably a
time.
good choice.
But I feel like in North Carolina on Highway 74, it's okay.
There's a bunch, yeah.
I feel like
Produce,
that's okay.
strawberries, peaches,
That peach
boiled
ice
peanuts.
cream was good.
It is good. I
Man,
don't
it
know
was
why
good.
it's so much better. So,
The other thing I thought that was interesting as I traveled was that now I've got the iPhone 13 or whatever, and so I got the 5G, right?
Yep.
And man, just randomly when you're out in the middle of the sticks, like I was driving down to Georgia, it'll just drop to like LTE, and then it'll be like some other random.
So what's the
initials
levels?
or whatever.
5G, LTE, LT. Wait, what's after that?
Well,
3G.
3G.
It
Have
goes
you
from
ever had
5G to is LTE 4G?
Well, okay, it's 5G, then
Yeah.
5GE,
Ooh.
and then LTE, and then I've had 4G before, and then I've had 3G.
Ooh.
So anyway,
And then mine drops down to like 1X, and I'm like, I got nothing.
do you remember? Well, like the map, like the Apple Maps, or whatever. It's just the one road is all you see.
Yeah.
Like the blue line.
Right.
There's nothing else on
Yep.
the map. I'm doing like this, like I have some sort of screen in my
People can
vehicle.
see,
I
yeah.
don't. I just have like it's just on my phone.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Do you remember dial-up?
As you mentioned earlier, I am significantly older than you,
That
so
is
of course
true.
I do.
Dial-up was amazing.
Yeah, so dial-up was basically kind of like I'm trying to think of like when it came out. I don't remember like the years, but I remember like I didn't start knowing the internet or email until college.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, I
I
think
got
it was
my
96 for me.
6-year-old who's like zooming and doing stuff like that. on
Right.
the-
Yeah.
And so now I looking back then, and I remember like, I think it was during I I remember specifically at my parents' house, I went home for the summer, like in college. And this was like, I was trying to, as some would say, spark my wife, Carrie. I was trying to.
Oh.
And so I sent her a postcard. And I was waiting
Like
for
one
her
that
to,
you wrote on?
like an
Or
actual
that-
postcard. I thought that'd be different. She was serving at some camp for the summer.
Oh, wow.
And I kept thinking, hey, she's gonna email me back because I put my email address on there. And I don't even know
Which was what?
Man.
Like Cool Dude Kyle?
No.
85?
Luckily, I don't think I ever made any of
At
those.
Juno.com?
It probably was a Juno. I think it was. You can email me now at Zachary Kyle Scarlett at Juno.
Zachary?
That's my first name.
Whoa.
Juno. Everybody had it.
Zachary.
I think that was like the first ones.
And
And then there was like AOL, and then it switched over to like Hotmail, and I was like, I
Hotmail.
don't feel comfortable with that.
I had a Hotmail account.
I had a Hotmail account for a while, and like, but I remember like hitting refresh, and you had to like connect to the internet. Like you were not
yeah.
always on.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear the and it sounded like a fax machine or whatever. And then you keep, it would take like a half hour to get an email to come through.
And then
our
if-
kids have no idea.
If someone picked the phone up in the house,
It cuts you off.
it cuts you off. Yeah, man. I remember all that. I remember that. So it was like you had to stay dedicated. And there was no like playing like gaming online or anything like that. There was none of that kind of stuff.
No,
I
nothing.
remember my first cell phone was a little flip phone,
Yeah.
and it was with Bell South Mobility.
Wow.
How about that?
That's old school.
That's before Singular Wireless,
Bell South
which is now
Mobility.
AT&T.
I think they were like the ones who still produce the actual phone book, which I don't understand why it's still being produced.
Right.
Phone
it's just,
book.
It's like kindling for us. We just take the pages out because it ignites like that. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll catch fire pretty quick.
Did you have any service down in Georgia? Was that the issue?
It just It just depends on where I was in the town. When I went into the town, it was, I had a lot. I had good 5G service, but then.
And that's a weird thing too, because like we're our age, and this is a newer thing to us in the last 20 years. Like for our kids, this is all they know.
Right.
You're always connected. You're always
Right.
online, and so when the internet goes out or it's slow or something's happening, but people lose their mind and
Right.
freak out like the world has come to an end. I'm like,
Yeah.
there used to be a time when this was non-existent.
Non-existent.
Everybody relax.
I mean, I remember trying to do research, like in the library, and it's just everything is going so slow.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm calling Comcast or Spectrum or whoever it is and trying to get the highest possible amount of download speed at my house.
That's right.
So my kids can, write a paper on
They
whatever.
can get any piece of information
I
in
mean,
the world
yeah.
in a second on their phone.
It blows my mind.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The times we live in.
Hey, let's talk quickly about a little bit of social media. I feel like I was thinking the other day, I talk about social media all the time, and I do have a pretty good love-hate relationship with it.
But you do. But you don't post a lot,
I don't.
do you?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to post more,
Yeah,
but I don't want to.
I know. It's
So I don't know what to
stuff just starts coming out of the wood. People start commenting, or you get
Well-
weird messages sometimes.
do. Well, I just want to post like stuff that I just like to do. So like I love
Smoking
my,
meat. We see
love
a
my
lot of smoking
family.
meat.
I like leading worship. I like my family, and I like smoking meat. So
That's good.
That's pretty much all I ever post.
Well, that's the thing. Is like you feel this pressure or this obligation to always post about. Well, here's what I ate today, or this is what I'm thinking right now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like you. Family, like if I travel or do something, I like that. Always something usually church related.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other interests really.
Yeah, I don't like to post pictures when I'm actually out of town. So I typically wait till I get back in town and then
You
post
don't want
stuff.
people to know.
Well, because I don't want someone to break into my house.
That's right.
Because that's
Hey,
what
Gerald's
happens
gone.
when you post that you're out of town. Your friends, the people who you talk to, they break into your
Hey, Gerald's
house.
gone. Let's go to his
Let's
house.
go get his stuff. Yeah. So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about social media with the with our Instagram, the Nothing and Everything podcast Instagram.
We're about to hit a milestone is coming back.
Miles?
Milestone.
Milestone?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
997 followers.
Should we do something for like the 1,000th person that follows us?
What should we do?
let's invite them on the show.
Oh my word!
And
No one's been invited.
Interview them and be like, what was it like being the 1,000th person?
Yeah, how
to
did you
follow
feel
us? Like
when you woke up that morning and you knew?
when you hit follow and you saw you were number 1,000? What was that like?
Man.
Oh, you
sky
didn't
is
care?
the-
Great. Probably sitting in a waiting room
this is-
someplace, or
You know,
We should do a giveaway for like 2,000.
a giveaway of.
A road to the path to 2,000.
I thought he just said, "Let's do a giveaway for 2,000."
I was like,
I was thinking $2,000.
I was like,
bro,
I'm about to get my kids a social media account. Like, I gotta pay for some vacations. Goodness gracious.
yeah, good night.
That's a. People said it couldn't be done.
I think people are still saying it.
Yeah. It's
So-
like, yeah, this is not gonna be done.
Oh well.
Almost 1,000 followers.
But let's talk about some of the people that comment on social media
That's the.
on our podcast. Like we have some people who
That's
kind
some
of always
interaction.
say the same thing, and so like
They always say the same thing.
What
Like
we-
it's kind of robotic or something.
what we'd
Yeah.
like to hear from, or who we'd like to hear from, will be the people that, like our friends or our fans.
Yeah.
But the people we hear from are the ones who say, promote it on
Promote it on.
whatever it is.
I don't know what's going on there. Like, how are we supposed to promote this? And what is your Instagram? Because then if you ever do click on it, they got like 3 followers. Like it's some
Right.
kind of I don't know,
Right.
what do you call those?
It's a bot.
A bot, yeah, something like
A
that.
bot.
A bot. We don't want you bots following us.
We don't want bots.
but we do want to be promoted.
But we also don't want. I don't want one of those. You ever run into those like keyboard bully warriors kind of guys? You ever see that?
I have.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't want any of those either because those guys are just mean sometimes. So
No.
yeah, we'll stay away from that too.
Yeah.
We just want good, nice people to.
Yeah, I don't get the promoting though. Like, I don't know if that's just like some kind of spam.
Well,
Something
one
or
of them
whatever,
was
just
like
promote it on.
Black Empire or
Yeah.
something, and
I'd be cool with that.
I started noticing it because it was like every picture that he posted, I'm like, what? Why is it that one? I'm just confused. So I don't even know what that is, who that is, if it's a real person or if it's just a
I'd be
bot.
fine.
I don't know, but
Being promoted.
yeah, but I don't. I'd rather be
It's
promoted.
just weird though. It's just kind of random, and
Yeah,
like I don't
yeah,
know if
it
there's
is
something
random.
behind it. I don't know if it's something where they're trying to get your information or
I don't
trying
know.
to get into your stuff. I don't
Everything is trying to get our information.
know. Ooh.
That's
Maybe
why
we
you
should shut the whole thing down. Then.
can't
The whole
trust
operation.
anything.
Seriously.
You can't trust anything these days. One thing you can trust, however,
Wow,
is
what
what?
a segue. What?
998,
Somebody's
it just
listening
went up.
right now.
Who?
I don't know,
Who's
but they don't even
listening
know when
now?
we're recording this.
They're outside the door then if they're
Seriously.
listening right now.
998. We are 2 away from 1,000.
This is
I'm
exciting.
gonna pop a confetti cannon.
Yeah. One thing that is worth celebrating and very exciting is, well, we just celebrated Easter yesterday.
Yeah, you mean 3 days
So,
ago?
3 days.
'Cause it drops
3
on
days
Wednesday.
ago. This drops Wednesday.
We got to be
Wednesday.
full disclosure with our with
Okay,
our
yeah.
listeners.
It's Monday. We celebrated Easter yesterday, but you're going to hear this on Wednesday.
Man,
so.
it was a good day.
Yeah. So tell me what happened over at your
Well, the
place.
only thing that really stood out, I mean, it was a solid day.
Mm-hmm.
Things went really well. It was great attendance. It's good to see a lot of people, a lot of energy. I mean, everything was just felt good. At the end of one of the services at Harris Campus, though, we heard something that we hadn't heard in a while, and somebody snuck in. Maybe I don't know where it was coming from, but at the end of the sermon, a little tambourine action.
Somebody brought their own tambo?
Yeah, like Partridge Family type. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear it. It might have been, they might have used it at other times, but it wasn't until the very end of the service. And you could see a couple people were like, oh boy, where's that coming from?
That's actually incredible.
Yeah. Which is, tamborine's an interesting instrument. I just think it'd be funny if if you use pulled out a cowbell or a kazoo or a recorder.
Ooh,
Like,
cowbell.
like one of those things,
Like
like,
Vuvuzuela?
yeah, Vuvuzuela. Hey, I really like that song,
Or
but
a didgeridoo. That'd be kind of cool.
a didgeridoo.
Is that what it
So we like to encourage anybody to bring out any kind of odd instrument.
Look, I'm telling you this right now.
A triangle. Ding,
If
ding,
if
ding,
I'm
ding.
leading worship at the Mallard Creek campus and someone brings a tambo and they start playing it,
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop the song.
What? No, you shouldn't.
We got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. That would be amazing. I mean, that's pretty gutsy, I guess, to bring one in and.
Yeah, I guess it's an expression, but I was just like, I hadn't heard it in a long time.
Oh, you've had it before there.
Well, I don't know that we've had it before there, but I've heard it in church services just in general.
Okay.
But it was just kind of like, oh, well, that was different.
That's nice. I like that.
Tambourine action.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we had a great service at the Malloy Creek campus. It was just exciting.
Yep.
It was just exciting, and so it was good. There was a really good just excitement in the air. There's a lot of people there. Like when I stood up there to start the service, I was thinking, man, there's a lot of people in this room right now, and it was great. It
was real strong attendance, and you felt that at both the services at Harris. Because it was funny because then I later on when I got back on, I jumped on social media yesterday afternoon, and you see like the memories from like last year, and it was like Easter was kind of like people were there, but it didn't feel like it was. And then 2 years ago, we were watching online. And I remember my family had like a picnic in the front yard afterwards because nobody was doing anything. That was right in the beginning of the pandemic. And so look how far we've come in 2 years.
Man, I'm thankful that we are where we are now.
Yep.
So.
Church was great yesterday. It was exciting. It was good.
I guess a little bit of encouragement. Not that a lot of those people are probably watching or listening to this podcast, but man, it'd be really cool if a lot of those people would move away from the Christmas and Easter only. They call those the CEOs, Christmas, Easter only.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, stop just doing that and just come to church on a regular basis. That'd
we'll
be
see
great.
you Sunday.
So, we'd love to see everybody Sunday and come up and talk to us. Kyle is at the Harris campus. I'm at the Malloy Creek campus. And so, So, yesterday was a great day, man. It was a great day.
Good to be back.
It's good to be back home. Are you traveling anymore anytime soon?
Not till June. I think I'm here.
Well, don't tell people, man.
I'm not telling
your
the
house
dates.
is gonna get broken into.
I know, seriously.
I'm coming to your house in June.
Just driving by.
Wait outside.
Like, why Gerald keep driving by my house?
Oh, he's gone. Take his stuff.
He ain't got no stuff. I don't think I got anything until like
macarons.
summertime stuff.
Take some macarons from your house. I'm teasing.
Don't do that.
I won't do that. So, I'm not traveling anytime soon. So.
Yeah, not till after school.
Yeah.
It'll be a while.
Well, good. Well, it was a great show today.
Oh, it was the best.
Was it the best?
What episode is this? 12?
This is episode 12. Episode 12.
That's like 3 months worth of work that we put into this.
Very
and
difficult work, and so
we're gonna keep going too.
All we got to show are these mugs. Yep. So there you have it. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next time.